Hello everybody, I hope you guys are having a great day today. I am going to paint this blue cross and I'm going to show you some dry brushing techniques. It's a Friday afternoon, the weather's great here, it is sunshiny, it's all good, although I think next week is going to be a bunch of rain. So I am just starting with a chip brush. Now what I did is I put a coat of white paint and then I did a coat of sky blue. So on this sky, I put white and then sky blue. Hey Debbie, can I get you to share to the Painters Club? My share button is gone. I don't know why. It's so ever so annoying, y'all. So I'm going to start just doing some dry brushing on this cross. And the thing about the technique is you put the paint on there and then you try to get the paint off, if that makes any sense, okay? And I like to do longer strokes. Now, if you do really heavy strokes, then it's gonna do a lot of covering up. I'm doing kind of lighter stroke because I want a lot of that sky blue to show. So you're not gonna use a whole bunch of paint. You're going to just kind of streak it out. And I'm going to show you in a minute, I'm fixing to use some of the navy colored, dark colored paint too. And you're going to see me kind of use some of that to go on top of this. But, so the dry brushing is just kind of like what it says. It's about getting paint on the brush, taking it off, and trying to get that paint to be as dry as you can when you're putting it on the surface. So, I'm just going to kind of go back and just go over those a little bit. Because this has a lot of water in it. I think you can probably tell that has a lot of water in it. Oh, thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that. Girl, I don't know where I'd be without Debbie, always taking care of me. For some reason, a lot of the buttons that I've always seen are now gone. You know, that's not good. It's just not good. So I'm going to take the navy blue, and another button that's gone is I can't reverse this anymore. So that makes me mad. And I'm in several groups and I ask all the ladies and some of them have the same problem and some of them don't. So I'm not the only one it's happening to. So I've got the navy blue, right? And on this navy blue is the same thing. I started with sky blue, then I streaked it with teal, and now I'm streaking it with navy blue. And because this is a very, very dark, I must have made them mad. It's like, oh, geez Louise. So because it's very dark, I'm going to go very, very light with this color because that's how dark. I don't want it to be too dark. And you can see though, and I'm going to kind of hang out closer to the edges of it. Yes, I'll put some of this in the middle, but I'm going to concentrate on trying to get a lot of that color along the edge. And I'm going to take this same brush and I'm just going to kind of do it this way. I'm just trying to get that edge to have a little bit of that dark navy, if you will. I'm gonna go this way, that way, and then down here, instead of swiping it this way, I'm just gonna hit the bottom. You can't really tell by looking at it, but I'm hitting that bottom pretty hard with some pressure is what I'm using. And then you can kind of see, I start to get a little bit more of a border around here, and I'm gonna move it this way. Hey Doris, how are you? I'm glad you could join me. I am showing you guys how to paint using some dry brushing. This is really all about the dry brushing. And then I'll come here on this side, on the edge of it, and I'll turn the brush this way. I'm gonna get a little bit more paint. Be careful about getting too much of this navy. It's called the navy blue on there, or your whole project will get real dark. And I'm trying to keep mine colorful. I don't necessarily want it real dark, but I do want it really colorful. So let me get some more paint. So I've got a lot of water in that paint too. And so I put that water in there and I take it back off, or I put the paint in there and take it back off. And then I kind of come in here. I'm just getting this right here, this right there. And then I'm gonna do this. And this whole idea is for it to kind of look not like a pattern and not like a certain look. You're trying to get it, I'm trying to get it to be a little bit random, if you will. Let me come over here. I don't have quite enough on this, in these edges that I want. And I'm gonna do that. And you can tell it just kind of takes several layers, but none of this is got a lot of paint. And notice that I'm trying to leave the middle without a whole lot of paint. And in that middle, you're gonna just kind of see a lot more sky blue, because I started with white and then I did sky blue. Let me show you what sky blue looks like in the bottle right quick. So I painted my cross white, then I painted the base coat sky blue, which would be that color. And then the first color I streaked on was teal, and this is navy, is the last color I'm streaking on. So I've got basically 3 blues is what I've got. I'm gonna do that, like that. And then again, I'm gonna come back here and pick up some more of that navy. And I'm gonna hit the corners, or the edges, I should say, not necessarily corners, that's not the right word. I got a little bit too far there. Trying to make the outer part of my cross a little bit darker than the inner part. And you can tell if two different people did this, we would have kind of 2 different looking crosses. It's not, you cannot duplicate this from person to person because we all have a different hand as far as how, I have a heavy hand. And so that's what my dry brushing, streaking, kind of, I'm gonna hold that up because I want y'all to be able to see that, what that really looks like. And it really didn't take but just maybe 5 or 10 minutes of dry brushing. And in my case, I wanted to go for that, I guess, kind of the monochromatic look of blue. So I've got that light blue, medium blue, and then of course the dark blue, which is the top coat. Now notice that I've got amazing and grace, because I want those words on top of everything else. Then I'm going to paint those last. So I've got all of my background done and I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna pick up a script liner. This is what a script liner is, kind of like a round, small round brush. I'm going to put some paint in here, in one of these. Aren't the blues pretty? I just decided to go blue, but you could do this same concept and do it in any color scheme you wanted. If you wanted to do, I think another one that would be pretty would be the yellows. That would be a real pretty color combination. If you wanted something more of a warm color, I just decided to do the blue because I'm kind of in love with this sky blue and teal color right now. But absolutely, you could make it a red cross, a blue cross, a yellow cross. There's purple, pink, there's just no end to what you could do. But I kind of like the blue, so that's why I chose blue. Now, I'm gonna be doing this same cross. Let me show you. I actually did a tutorial in the Academy this morning on how to do some shading, but I'm gonna be doing this same cross probably one day next week on, and it's the same cross as this one, but I'm gonna put flowers on this. And just, I'm gonna freehand the flowers. So I did this in the Academy, so, excuse me, on shading. So that you, just because I'm streaking this one, this is one of those things that you could do almost any kind of design you wanted to. And for those of you that might be interested, I did that in the Academy this morning, and we will be opening up the Academy in June. So if that's something you might be interested in, you can just type in the word Academy, and later on I'll go back and I will send you a link. Kind of tells you all about it. Now I'm going to just take this paint and I'm going to come in here, and all I'm going to do is kind of go in between the CNC lines that are scored or etched for me. And for me, I'm putting quite a bit of paint on here because I don't want to have to come back and paint these letters again. So what am I doing? I'm going to make sure that I do it right the first time. Now I might come and do a little touch up after all of this is dried, but as far as sitting here and just doing all these letters all over again, painting all over again, I'm not going to do that. Nah, can't do that. So y'all tell me, what are y'all working on today? Are y'all hanging out at home? Are y'all at work and watching from, you know, with the mute down? Some of the ladies said that they do that sometimes, that watch us. And if you're at home and if you're in this area, depending on what area you're in, you've got some good weather today. I'm kind of stuck indoors because I'm taking this marketing class for 3 days. And so I'm on my lunch hour right now. And but y'all, I like to be outside. And so I'm kind of stuck inside now for a couple days anyway. But I'm trying to learn. They're trying to teach an old dog new tricks, y'all. And might I say, it's not the easiest thing in the world. So, so trying to learn anything. But my letters look good so far, I think. They're wide, but that's what I want. Because to me, yard art, this is to be seen from, you know, at least 4 feet, sometimes up to 10, 20 feet away. And so for those of you that follow our stuff, you know that I kind of have a tendency to put large stroked type lettering on our stuff so you can see it from afar. Doesn't mean that you have to do it that way, but that's just kind of the way we do it because of what we're trying to achieve here. So I'm just basically taking this white and dipping it in the paint over and over and over and just putting some paint on those letters. I am going to do a little bit of a shadowing on them before we go. And I'll show you what, and it's just some black, but I think it looks really good. It's kind of like almost like a drop shadow. But this takes a lot of paint, so you can kind of see me. I keep dipping this thing in keep dipping my paintbrush in there over and over. Hey, Mary Kay, how are you? In fact, I think both Debbie and Mary Kay are coming to our paint party. If I remember right, both of y'all have signed up. We've had a couple folks sign up just this morning, and I thought I had it here. Yeah, I'll have to show y'all my paint party for those of you that didn't see the video the other day. We're gonna have an in-person paint party at the store, and it's an interchangeable truck door hanger. It's super cute. And I'll show y'all that if I can remember to do that. Sometimes I have such good intentions. I'm gonna show y'all this, I'm gonna talk about that, and then I had to leave the live. I'm like, oh, well, I forgot what I was supposed to be doing. Okay, she says, yes, I can't wait. And I think it's a super good idea, Mary Kay. It's just very simple, and it's gonna be pretty easy to paint in that we're not doing shading and stuff like that per se. We're gonna kind of focus on just doing some, what I think of as simple brush strokes, but they're still gonna make the piece stand out. So, and y'all, I've had a lot of heck of a time. We have a website, an e-commerce website, obviously, and they are making me a landing page for paint parties. And I don't know, they're kind of dragging their feet or what the problem is, but I really need that landing page because that's the page that I could put out there, and like y'all could go see all the projects that we could do. Because sometimes people, you know, they might be interested in a paint party around this way. Anything like that, y'all, I have to see graphics. I have to see photos of what it is that we're going to be doing or what it is that we can do. And without a landing page, it's really hard for me to communicate that to everybody. So I'm hoping next week we'll have that landing page that I can produce and send that out to everybody, and there'll be all sorts of projects on there of different things that we can do at paint parties. We started doing kids paint parties this summer. We've had a good response to that. We've had a number of people call in and confirm that they want us to do that. Like we're marketing ourselves to daycares and stuff like that. Oh, okay, Debbie, I think she posted the link for me. Thank you. And I'll remember to try to show a piece of that, what do you call it? An example of what I painted yesterday. So what we do on the kids paint parties is we cut out the capital letter of the kid's name, and then we cut out every letter in the kid's name. I'll show you here in a minute. I've got an example of that too. And so for those, we travel to the daycare in some instances, and then other instances they travel to us. So, but yeah, I think it's really good because it's a way for kids to do a little art project and they get their name. So everybody gets a personalized project, which is kind of nice. Okay, y'all, I'm almost done. And then I'm gonna show y'all my little interchangeable, and then I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of drop shadowing on this guy. And that's really all there is to it. This is a super easy cross to paint. I love it because it's very traditional. And to me, it has a great message. I'm gonna let this dry, but I'm gonna hold this up and I'll show you. I still have to do a little bit of drop shadowing on there, y'all, but that's my streaking, okay? And I'm gonna pull it back some so you can kind of see how easy. This video hasn't lasted very long, and I just did some streaking on my background, right? So let me show you guys. Some of you were with me yesterday. This is the paint party that we're going to be holding on June 19th. If you're interested in that, I see a couple of folks have posted the link. So here's the thing behind this. Okay, so you got your truck and here is your little rail. So at Christmas time, you can have your Christmas tree. During the fall, and again, kind of think of it that way, you can have your pumpkins. If you wanted to, you can do leaves during Thanksgiving. Okay, something like that. We also have Easter eggs for Easter time. I haven't finished the hearts. I repainted them. Yesterday I did them red. I didn't like that. I'm going to repaint them into pink, but I haven't finished them. But you get the basic idea. I'm going to put some shading and stuff on there. And then for patriotic, we also have this. And this will glue on this outside. And so really the idea is, I kind of put it over here. This will actually slide out over here. And it'll slide in. And then of course you take it out and you slide your other piece right in here. And then you slide that out, etc., etc. And then of course we have the welcome. And then you get the round. And it's basically a door hanger. And it's got 7 interchangeables. I have a snowman, but I messed him up yesterday, so he's not ready. I'll kind of tilt that up. So you can kind of see if you wanted to do an in-person paint party, that's on June the 19th. And I got one other thing to show you. So we've had a pretty good response from this. This is our kids paint party project. And on this one, right now, we are scheduling the daycares, but once we get that all scheduled, worked out, we'll probably have some in-person paint parties there at the store for the kids. And what they get is this letter is 14.5 inches tall, 9.5, I think, wide. So in this case, it's Carly. And so they get each letter, 2-inch letter for their name. And they all come like this. They'll all come what we call raw. And that way, each person gets to paint whatever color they want, because y'all know we have all kinds of colors. And we're gonna have more embellishments. These are called embellishments, like the extra pieces. Like we're gonna cut out some dinosaurs and some unicorns and stuff like that. And then when the kids get through, they have their own project they can take home and display it in their room. So right now, we're doing these through the daycares, but I'm sure once I get that kind of settled down, we'll be opening these up for kids coming to the art studio there at our store. So y'all, we have all kinds of stuff going this summer. All kinds of things. Now, this is not quite dry, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I just wanna give you a little bit of idea of what a drop shadow might look like. So on the kids things, if your kids happen to go to daycare and that's something you think that they would enjoy, y'all let me know and I can reach out to the daycare. I've reached out to a lot of them, but honestly, I don't have all of their, I don't know, there's a lot of different daycares around and I don't know all of them. I tried to look them up on Google. Y'all know Google is your friend, right? But I think I missed a lot of them too. So if that's something that you think a daycare might like, let us know. We'll reach out to them. Okay, and we can go to the daycare or they can come to us, either way. So I'm gonna put a little bit of a drop shadow, which just basically means I'm gonna put some black over here and I'm going to just kind of go around here on one side. I think the thing about a drop shadow is you just kind of want to do it on one side. You don't want to do it on everything, on the whole thing, okay? So I'm gonna kind of come down here and then I might kind of come over here. Y'all, this is still real wet. So you're gonna see some streaking, but I just wanna give you the idea. I'll go clean this up later after I've had a chance to let this all dry. Let's go over here. I'm just kind of taking that black paint and coming around. Just making it kind of go around the curves of the letter. I can do it this way, y'all can see a little better. There you go, something like that. And the idea is just to kind of put a little bit of a drop shadow on here to make those letters stand out a little more. Not trying to put too much paint on here, but just give it a little bit of definition. Then I'll come up over here. And let's go over here. Something like that. And then of course I need to come over. I got too much stuff here. Y'all doing okay? All right, I'm not finished, but let me get over here where I can get a little bit better. If y'all can see, I'm always kind of moving this stuff around to get a better angle of what I'm doing. Because for me, when you're painting, it's all about the comfort of how you're holding that brush, right? Something like that. I'll come back and touch this up tomorrow whenever it's had a chance to dry. But you get the idea. There's your Amazing Grace cross. And it didn't take a whole lot to do it. I started with a white base coat, and then I base coated in sky blue. And then I streaked it in teal, and I streaked it with some navy blue. I did my letters in white and put some black on my drop shadow. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Ashley will be on next week, and so will I. I think Ashley said she's doing the USA Totem Pole. And next week, I think I'm doing some work in the Academy. So, hey Joyce, I hope you're doing well. I see you just hopped on. I'll show you this. I just did the Amazing Grace cross. I will also do this one. It won't be next week, but it'll be the week after. Same cross, but I will put flowers on it, okay? So kind of same design, but you get kind of two choices of what you want to do. This will have flowers that I just freehand. Thank you guys for coming out and hanging out with me. I hope y'all have a good day, and it's Friday, so I hope y'all have a great weekend, and we will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.